cruel social media remarks. Facebook comments have been pouring in after 4 people died while hiking.
You're dealing with an addicted generation.
This is a big time bomb ticking.
These kids who commit suicide, you go look at their Instagrams, you would have no clue.
People who spend more time on Facebook suffer higher rates of depression than people who spend less time on Facebook. It'll destroy relationships, it'll cost time, and it'll cost money, and it'll make your life worse.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all of the audience and fellow friends. Welcome to the forum for today and thank you very much for attending this forum. I am Mr. Fathiyuddin as a moderator for our forum today. Our issue for today is stress in the family. First of all, I would like to introduce our panel today. On my right side is Dr. Irfan as an experienced counselor in Hospital Kuala Lumpur. How are you doing, Dr. Irfan?
I'm good, thank you.
Next, our second panel for today's forum is Mr. Aqil, as a student from University Malaysia Kelantan. How are you, Mr. Aqil?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, our third panel is our specially invited parent, Mr. Alif. How are you today, Mr. Alif?
I am very glad to be here for this forum. Thank you, Mr. Fatih.
Dear audience, as we all know that stress is a normal physical response to events that make us feel threatened or upset. It is also known as a mental pressure. Dr. Hans Selye was the first to define the term stress as the non-specific response of the body to any demand made upon it. It can be characterized by diverse reactions such as acute anxiety, increased heart rate, and also hypertension. For further details, I would like to ask Dr. Irfan to explain what is the effect of the stress on the family. Dr. Irfan, can you please explain to us about this?
Thanks to Mr. Fatih and very good afternoon to all the panelists and audience. I'm so glad to be here to share my opinions with all of you. There are many effects that can be related to the stress with social media. Okay. Social media is an astonishing platform to connect with people worldwide. We can widely share experience and opinions and express ideas. But it does have a dark side too for body image, which demands a mindful approach to counter it. Most of us are prone to body shaming on the social media platform, which is a widespread phenomenon of receiving cruel feedback when our bodies don't match the unrealistic body standards set by the society in today's time. For example, a girl who posts her photo in Facebook and suddenly there was a comment by another user about something harsh talking about body shaming at that girl. Usually, the users who always comment on something inappropriate like this are using fake accounts. In this case, the girl will be having stress and extremely sad because people are talking about her body. Body shaming also can happen through social media in another situation. For example, to be popular or gain many likes on social media, the user must be beautiful or have a good shape of the body. Not to mention, body shaming keeps alive stigmas and social division, drawing a line between the worthy and the unworthy. In other words, people who count and people who don't count, the lovable and the unlovable. Some people will feel insecure and shame because they are different from people on social media. Body shaming crushes the self-esteem and confidence of another human being. For me, body shaming is humiliating, with often painful long-term consequences because it mocks and stigmatizes its victim. tearing down self-respect and perpetuating the harmful idea that our unique physical appearance should be compared to famous people. What really matters is our character and humanity. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thanks to our first panel, Dr. Irfan, for his wonderful opinion. As a family member, all of us have to always take note of the effect of stress on social media among our family members. Next, I would like to ask Mr. Aqil as a student from UMK about what the cause of stress in the family. Can you please explain to us? Now, Mr. Aqil.
Thank you, Mr. Fatih. A very good afternoon to all the panelists and the audience. I'm so glad to be one of the guests here. As what Mr. Fatih has said just now, I'm a first-year student at UMK. As we know, family stress can be defined as a real or emerging imbalance between the demand of the family and the family's ability to meet those demands. In the definition of family stress, the demands in the family are commonly referred to the stressor. A stressor is a life event or transition that happen in the family. However, anything that put high demand on us or force us to adjust can be stressful. The most common causes of stress in family life are finance, work, and health. The financial situation is the cause most often cited for stress in family life. When there are money problems, people tend to live in a perpetual state of stress. Unemployment, working long hours, and other financial or work-related problems can make family obligation difficult. This can result in constantly worrying about money and not being able to meet the need of the family. Besides, health also can be a cause of stress, especially as people begin to age or if they have a particular health condition. Living with ill health can be stressful enough, but most people are concerned about the financial security of their families as they are their own health. Not only that, but stress also could caused by social media, which is disturbing your daily activity. Social media affect our way of life because we are interacting with people from different regions and backgrounds. You may end up copying some of their characters. Spending much of time on social media reduce your self-control because you start copying new behavior from your past. Reduced self-control is evident in how you spend money if you start spending more than you used to. Not because your salary has increased, but because you want to buy something you saw on Facebook. Increased expenditure causes stress at mid-month when you have spent all your fund and you still have some important need not met. The need to quit social media when you are unable is another cause of stress. Many people are addicted to this. You are not stressed by Facebook content, but by the need to stop using it. It sounds funny, but many people are stressed by this. They want to quit or reduce the time they spend on social media in order to deal with stress, but they are unable to, and this will reduce and broke the family relationship. Parents who still have young children worry about their care should make something before their children are grown. Thank you. That's all from me.
Thanks to our second panel for the explanation. From what Mr. Aqil has said, we are able to know that work tension, financial problem, and health become some cause of stress in the family. We have listened to the counselor and the student's opinion about stress in the family. Now I would like to ask Mr. Alif as a parent about the solution recommended in order to solve this problem. Mr. Alif, can you share with all of the audience for today?
Thank you, Mr. Fatih. Every problem always have its solutions. Among that is the negative side of using a social media too much. As we know, social media is very addictive, especially for the young generations. Once you have signed up, logging out will be a problem to us. There are so many people who addicted to social media. There are so many people can spend too much hour only to play the social media, like for commenting, liking photos, or even though tweeting. Sometimes it becomes more serious and more worse that those people actually can spend a lot of hours using with their phones, and they all can spend without less than 1 hour. Now we can try to imagine a person that addicted to a social media and by using a smartphone actually is in stress. Because of that, we as a parent is very important to make sure our children using their phone in the correct manner. Besides, children nowadays are also lack of sleep just because of using their social media. It can be denied. Social media deprives you qualitative sleep. All parents have to monitor their children and alert them about the times what they can use the smartphones and what they can't. If they didn't have enough sleep at the previous night, they will be the next day they will be filled with anxiety and make you become can't concentrate in our class. I think that's all from me. Thank you, Mr. Fatih.
Thank you, Mr. Alif, for your willingness to share the solution between us. I hope all of these suggestions given by him can be useful in our life. In the conclusion, stress because of social media is one of the serious issues that need to take quick actions so that it can be more worse. Furthermore, to surpass it, we must overcome it with a million brilliant ways. Say no to stress. Thank you.